Okay, welcome back to Collectibles and Comments. This is Mel, your host. This is part two of our Black History Month collectibles. In the first part, I basically focused on people maybe in civil rights and politics. In this episode, I'm going to share with you some of my collectibles from the world of entertainment. Got a lot of pieces. Let me start showing them to you. I'm going to start off with this guy here. This is Louis Armstrong. Now, this is from F&B, and they did a series of dolls, and they did some on different characters. They did a couple of African American figures that I'm aware of. They did this one of Louis Armstrong, and they also did the Muhammad Ali. This is actually one of my favorite collectibles. I just love the sculpt on the face here, and so you can see they did a great job. They've even put a little diamond ring on his hand. So this one has always been out of the box. I've always had this one displayed somewhere in my home, so I love this figure. Let's see. Oh, well, let's look at some of these. This is Will Smith's figure from when he was in the Wild Wild West, the movie. So we have Will Smith and Kevin Kline there. That's the side of the box. That's the back of the box. So he comes with all these little fun things, a hat and all that stuff. And since we've got Will, let's show his lovely wife, Jada. This is her character, Naomi, from the Matrix films. And so this is her action figure here. I saw this, and I love when they do the sculpt so nice. This is Brandy's figure that they did of her, and I thought it just looked great the way they did it. And there's the back of the box. All right, and hopefully some of you all remember this guy. Remember MC Hammer when he was big? He even had a cartoon show on called where he played Hammerman, and he helped solve kids' problems and did all kinds of things. But there's MC Hammer's action figure. Okay, now let's put Louis over here. This right here, this is one of these, if you remember, back when, uh-oh, I'm losing my backdrop. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, there we go. I just took him out of his acrylic case. But this is the Michael Jackson doll. These came out in 84. I bought several of these when my brother was stationed in Germany. He had his little girls with him when they were little, and I bought some and shipped them over for Christmas. And I thought, oh, it would have been nice to have kept one for myself. And I happened to be in Virginia, and there was one in the window that nobody wanted. It was, I think, because the sun had, the box had been bleached by the sun and everything, and I went ahead and purchased it. So, but this is one of the original Michael Jackson dolls from 1984 at the height of his popularity. So that's Michael Jackson. So very quickly, let's see. This is Michael Clark Duncan, his character from Sin City. It's out the box. This is the rapper Nelly, his action figure. So there's not much articulation on it. The arms move, the head moves, the cap comes off. But that's Nelly. And let's see, I have Samuel L. Jackson from his figure from Shaft, when he played Shaft. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this is interesting. This is a collectible from Gone with the Wind by World Doll. This is Hattie McDaniel, her character from Gone with the Wind, and she, I believe, was the first African American to win an Oscar in the acting category. Let's see. This has a little bit of nudity on it, so let me try to cover it up with my thumb. But this was a cassette I had, and Rudy Ray Moore signed this for me. I met him at Tower Records. He signed it, Rudy Ray Moore, Dolomite, to Melvin, Best Wishes. I went to a comedy club in D.C. and Paul Mooney was selling these. Paul Mooney actually autographed this. That's his autograph there, his cassette of his performance. This is from Olmec Toys. If you saw my last video, they did African American themed artwork. I like this. This is when Robert Townsend did his movie Meteor Man, so that's his character. They did a fairly good likeness of him from Meteor Man. I don't think there's anything interesting. There's the back of the box, so I kept it on the card. Let's see, I've got some autograph CDs over here. Let's kind of get to these and I'll show them to you. Let's do this one first. Met Norman Connors at the Capitol Jazz Fest in Columbia. Wait a minute. That's his signature, Norman Connors. I had this little advertisement for Gil Scott-Heron's last album. Never got a chance to meet Brother Gil Scott-Heron. I went to the Capitol Jazz Fest really just to see him perform, and he didn't appear. I think he'd gotten sick or something. But I did meet his musical collaborator, Brian Jackson, at Kent Mill Records, and got him to sign this for me. And so he and Gil Scott-Heron worked together on many of the early albums, and they did a cut together on here too, on here, that he worked on this album with them too. But Brian, this is a really good CD. You'll like it. Really great meeting Brother Brian Jackson. People who know me know I like jazz, so this one is signed by Lou Donaldson, jazz saxophone player. Met Joe Sample when he performed at the Capitol Jazz Fest. He signed this for me. I had him autograph it to my daughter Grace. Met Donald Byrd at the Kennedy Center. He was performing on the Millennium stage, and he autographed this CD for me, Best of Donald Byrd. A lovely woman, Denise Graves from D.C. Met her, opera singer. Just wonderful, great. So there's her CD. At the Black Memorabilia Show, I met Lynette McKee. She signed her CD for me. One of my favorite CDs, great meeting him. One of my favorite films is Round Midnight, and Bobby Hutcherson was in that movie. This is really nice. If you buy this CD, it's called For Sentimental Reasons. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. I love this CD. If you like Bobby Hutcherson, if you like the vibes, this is a great CD. Great meeting him. This is also one of my favorites. I had a gold pen. I met Ahmad Jamal at the Central Pennsylvania Friends of Jazz concert. And he was great. He signed this for me. This is from the Heath Brothers, and so they actually signed their CD for me. So I have another signed by her. I have to look it up, but I met Michelle and Dale Cello in where was this? At the Birchmere. This was my ticket stub. She signed it for me, but she also signed a couple of CDs. And let's see, there are a couple of other things I wanted to show you. Now, this is interesting. At the Capitol Jazz Fest, I went and I had some of my CDs, and I did not meet Brother Roy Ayers, so I have no idea who signed this, but the percussionist came out and I said, can you take this to Roy and let him sign it? So he came back with his signature. I went online, and I'm not sure that's his signature, but somebody in the band signed it, so okay, that's cool. This one does not have a signature. This is my copy of Come Back Charleston Blue, but I wanted to show it to just show you how they used to do albums back in the day. They would put all this advertisement inside the album. Isn't that interesting? So this was from a label, a division of Atlantic called Atco was the label, and so other what they call soul records from Atlantic, Atco, Cotillion Records. So you have all these King Curtis, and you have Wilson Pickett, Aretha Franklin. They're advertising all these artist here on the back. See, that's kind of fun. And then you have this little flyer inside. Where else can you get 16 Soul Stars for only $12? This is offer expires 1972. 12/31/1972. So you can send that in with a check for, I guess, $2, and you could get all these artists or whatever. Vinyl certainly is not this cheap these days. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you, I have some pieces on the wall that are framed. So I want to show you those real quick, then we'll sign off for this edition. Okay, we're going to pause this just for a second. Okay, this little piece here, this magazine, I put this little thing together with the little karate suit in it. But this is a magazine called Shock Cinema. I had this magazine, had an article on Jim Kelly, and you can see right here that he signed it for me. I met him at the Black Memorabilia Show. That's a picture of me shaking hands with Jim Kelly. He passed away a few years later, which was really sad. I was surprised. I mean, he seemed a picture of health when I met him. So, but it was great meeting the brother. Right next to him, I have my autographed album of Earl Klugh. Getting a glare from my drawing light. Let's put that down. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's Earl Klugh. Let's move over and see a couple of others. Okay, this right here is Angie Bofield's first album. I met her at the Capitol Jazz Fest in Columbia, Maryland. She was so absolutely beautiful. I just fell in love with her when I met her. When I took this album out, she was like, "Oh my God!" and she had like she hadn't seen it, and she was seeing a younger version of herself. So she autographed this one, and I had her second album too, Angel of the Night, and she autographed that one too. I apologize for the glare. I don't know if you can see the autograph, but it's there. And this over here is one of my more prized possessions, sitting under Stimpy's nose. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. This, if you look at my web page, I mean my YouTube page, you'll see a picture of me with a gentleman. I'm actually sitting with Fayard Nicholas of the famous Nicholas Brothers. He autographed this for me at the Black Memorabilia Show and sale. And, you know, everybody talks about what a wonderful, kind person he is. He is exactly what they say he is. And I remember when I asked to pose for the picture with him, he said, "You know, my wife took that picture, young man." I said, "Oh, that's beautiful," and I shook her hand. So it was great meeting them. And this is another situation. A few months later, I happened to be watching the Academy Awards, and there was a image of him dancing, and I was like, "What?" And it happened to be in the in memoriam section. So he passed away a little bit right after I met him, but it was great, and I felt blessed to have been able to meet him.